Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Hey, Freaky friends! It's Michelle and Melissa from the Freaky Fridays podcast. We are sisters in separate states and love to talk about all kinds of spooky, freaky, and scary shit while drinking and laughing through our fear.
Join us Fridays as we delve into everything from the world of the paranormal to scary movies to creepy stuff we find around the internet. Subscribe to Freaky Fridays wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Sleep tight.
Make sure you leave the lights on.
Freaky Fridays is a proud member of the Podmoth Network. For more awesome pods, check out podmoth.network.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Kathryn.
And I'm Hayley.
And we are Saturdays Are for the Ghouls,
a Podmoth podcast.
How are you doing today, Hayley?
I'm good, Kathryn. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Oh, I got a fantastic.
Sure, whatever that means. I lie every day. Well, what are we talking about today, Hayley?
All right, Kathryn. We're talking about...
Wait. To our OG listeners, I want you guys to go wild when she says this. If you are one of our listeners from the very beginning, you're going to go wild. I bet you $20. Venmo me.
Venmo me. Yes, to our OG listeners. When we first started this podcast, my first episode was episode 2. And I brought Kathryn the amazing 2016's Damien Leone's Terrifier.
Which we called him Damien Leone the whole time in that one. That's wrong. That is absolutely wrong.
I apologize.
Sorry, Damien.
I apologize, great sir. But what other movie would I do that just came out than Damien Leone's 2022 Terrifier 2?
The crowd goes wild. I very much know that didn't sound like a crowd going wild. I just Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know. I know that didn't sound like a crowd. I'm not good at sound effects. This is not my thing. So, Terrifier 2. We watched it yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I remember every single scene. Do you want me to tell you what happened in Terrifier 2?
Oh my God, Kathryn's synopsis.
We haven't done Kathryn's synopsis in quite a few weeks.
We have not.
I'm ready. Every single scene. Blank.
Did you write it down?
No.
Oh.
Nothing on the table. Okay. We open up right where we picked off, right where we jumped off Terrifier 1. He's slashing and dashing. Fast forward next year. There's a girl and she's going out for Halloween. She's got a punk bitch brother and she's got a bitch mother. And she's going out and she's going to be slutty tonight. We roll through. She gets a little spooks from Art the Clown in her dreams. And then in really life. And then it's like slash, dash, die, kill, die.
If only you guys could have seen what I just witnessed.
Oh, we're on Zoom, so she can see me like. Anyway,
she did like you did like a head shake, mind blown thing.
So that was basically the whole movie. You don't have to watch it, and you're good to go. Have a great day. Bye.
No. You need to watch this.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's pretty good.
I will. Okay, if you like the first one, you will like the second one. It is different. It is very different than the first one, but major, like, if you can't handle blood, gore,
it's not for you, babes.
Really long torture scenes, not
sit it
for
out.
you.
Just sit it out. It's not for you, babes. Next movie. Just get to the next one.
So for me, it was great. Loved it.
Yeah, the gore whore herself.
Yes,
we classified you as gore whore in Terrifier episode 1. I mean,
that is very true. That is very true.
And this helped your gore little heart. If you listen to this episode, you're going to get spoilers, but we're probably not going to go scene by scene.
Right.
So like, there will be some things that will be left to your imagination. Yes. But we do have to go through some of the kills.
Yeah. Okay. So as you all know. So, okay, a little bit of backstory. The first Terrifier was it was released at a film festival, right?
Yeah.
And then Terrifier 2, it also got released at a film festival like 2 months prior.
Yeah.
But due to the success, it got Damien Leone wanted to do a road show kind of release, which is just when they release it at limited theaters for a limited time.
Yeah.
So they had what we thought was only going to be out for like the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Like Thursday to Monday, I think they were doing like around October 6th?
Something like that.
So, of course, as soon as I hear that this is happening, they at my local theater, they had one showing on a Thursday at like 7 p.m.
So her happy ass went.
I went and I loved it. But I was like, I have to go see it. It is still in theaters because your boy did an amazing job. So has gotten so much praise. They just keep adding on more days. Like they only have like 2 showings a day, but it's still going. Like I even looked today, it's still in theaters right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's really cool seeing like the evolution of this, because what started out as short films, like it was just little short films that included this character, but he wasn't like the main plot.
Yeah.
And then in 2016, he finally got a full-length feature film. Again, $100,000 budget, bitch. Like,
yeah,
that ain't shit.
Yeah.
Even with this one, I'm gonna talk about the budget. Even with this one, they ended up having to do like an Indigo page or whatever it's called, where they had to raise money. He only requested like, I think like 50 grand.
Yeah.
But the demand was so like high and generous. Like he ended up making $250,000 just from donations.
Holy shit.
Do you want to guess how much that the movie has made so far, Kathryn?
I think the movie has made $5 million.
That's a good guess. So just imagine, it's been out just over a month. Like 2 showings a night.
Yeah.
Right? This movie has made $10.1 million.
Damien Leone.
Sorry,
I'm just kidding.
And I'm just saying, like, boy, that is insane for just over a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. So, of course, like, he was very, like, shocked.
Yeah.
Because this movie isn't, like, it's not getting ads on TV. Like, it's all over my social media, but it's also because I follow the page.
Yeah.
And everything. And I'm obsessed with Terrifier. But it's literally just word of mouth.
Yeah.
And it's insane to me, like, how big this movie has, like, this whole franchise has become. There's already at least 2 or 3 films already in the making, you know, like, already been greenlit to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm so upset.
I don't know. So, like, might be an unpopular opinion, but you know that, like, generally speaking, the more movies that it has of the same caliber, the less it usually does. The less good it is, you know, like, you know, the Friday the 13th movies that are number like fucking 7 is not as good as number 1, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that is one thing I worry about. Like 2 was
perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
Maybe
so like
3.
I think 3 will be good. 4, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's going to become like a world.
Yeah.
Because Terrifier 1, it's just centers around these 2 girls and a murderous clown that comes off as a human, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, he unalives himself.
Mm-hmm.
And the very end of the movie, he like wakes up. So then you're in like the morgue or whatever.
Right.
So you're like, okay, is he like supernatural? Like, is it like, oh, he was human, but now like some demonic possession kind of thing?
Yeah.
And then the second one, it's very supernaturally driven. Yeah. And it's, when you first watch the movie, it's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Definitely messes with your head a lot. But when I watched it the second time with you, I was like, okay, like it makes, I guess if you just go in with an open mind, like don't think that he's human or that he's limited to a certain degree.
Right.
Then you'll be fine. But like a lot of times you're like, huh? How does that work? Like,
right. Well, we know how many times he's gotten unalived and he comes right back up. Well, I mean, like, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is the things that people have done to him, some of those things should have unalived him and he just gets back up. Especially in this movie. That girl seemed to have, she put the stake in his head and he pulled it out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so like in this movie, especially this movie, I don't think it happens much in the last one, but especially this movie, he like got hurt multiple times in a way that should have killed him. That didn't. So we know he's not a human. We knew that in the very first scene. At the very last scene of the last movie, we knew that he couldn't have been human. But I think that honestly, if they continue it, that it's going to expand from Art the Clown to more characters.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. That's my theory. I'll leave it at that. Because
Damien was talking about, like, obviously since they made so much, like he is like excited, but it also like worries him because right now they don't have like a big film studio behind them. Like it's more of like a independent. Yeah, it's an indie film. So he's open to he said that he was open to the idea of working with a bigger like film distribution company. Yeah. But he's worried that they might he
doesn't want to lose control of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But he was saying that there might be too many cooks in the kitchen, too many hands in the pot. Yeah. He already is like working on 3. Basically, he said the whole, I guess, reason why Terrifier is such a big deal to people or got such a cult following is because of how brutal it is, you know? Yeah. Like Terrifier 1 had that one scene, like if you've seen it, anyone I've talked to about Terrifier, I just have to say that one scene and they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I felt like this one had more than that one scene.
It had a lot of that scene,
yeah.
But it had a singular, long, specific scene that is very fucking brutal.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure.
And even though Kathryn hated this character.
I totally did. I'm not going to lie. I totally thought she was bitch. I thought she was bitch and it didn't make me feel sad that I knew something bad was coming to her. Now, do I think that she deserved what she got? No, obviously not. I don't think anyone deserves to just fucking get brutally murdered. Like, brutally murdered. I don't think anyone deserves to get murdered, obviously. But I didn't like the character. And that was my problem, is that some of the characters, I didn't care that they got murdered. Because they weren't very likable.
Right.
And the other problem is that I like art.
That's true. I love art.
I've never watched... The thing about Terrifier that I think is brilliant is that I've never watched a horror movie where I've been so almost rooting for the killer. Like, I don't care about the final girl or the final characters. Like, I care about art. And like, in like some weird sick way, I like Art the most because he's so funny and he doesn't say a word. Like, he's perfect. You know, we've had silent killers like Michael and Jason, but they didn't have any personality. Right. And then we've had a character that talks so much and has a personality like Freddy. But if you combine them all together, you get Art. So I just think that I like Art, and he's funny when he's like, doing anything. Even when he's brutally murdering someone, he's sometimes kind of funny. And so like, I have this like little warm spot in my heart for Art. And so when the reason why I didn't like her was that she was a bitch to Art for no fucking reason. And then I was like, well, I know she's not going to survive now. Right. Like, I just knew it.
Be like, you just disrespected my mans. You obviously gonna get it.
Yeah. And I'm not justifying Art. Obviously, he's real gross.
He is gross.
Yes.
He's very gross.
But I don't know. He's like a kid, and he's like just so funny. I don't know. At the same time.
Yeah. It's the comedic timing is just
impeccable.
Chef's kiss. Yeah. But yeah. So I guess we can do a little rundown of the movie. Kathryn kind of did a good job. Starts off where we left off.
I did feel bad for the first kill.
the morgue guy,
The coroner.
the
Yeah.
coroner. Yeah.
All he wanted to do was get home to his wife and have some food.
That's true.
He didn't make it, in case you were wondering.
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, no. So it opens up. Art has no eye. He also like shot himself, so his head's got a big hole in it.
Yeah.
At the back, and this is where we kind of see like, does he have it? I don't know if he's like, the creeper in Jeepers Creepers, where if he eats it, he regenerates it.
Yeah.
But that's the vibe I get, because the second one is full of him taking body parts and eating them.
Yeah.
So
That
I'm
makes
like,
sense.
Regeneration maybe, because he
I
didn't
just
have
thought
an
he was
eye.
like, I just thought he was healing like Wolverine, like, like just regenerating.
Maybe. But like I said, he didn't have an eye, and his brain was obviously fucking got a hole in it.
Yeah.
And what does he take from the coroner? An eyeball and his brain.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, but it doesn't show him eating it.
Yeah.
It shows he puts the eyeball like in his eye socket.
Yeah.
And then like you turn like another comedic art moment. He like turns to the guy, and it's like just kind of like it looks so like fake, like popped out, and he's just like silent laughing at the guy like while he's like in immense pain.
Yeah.
Like bleeding out to death. And then the guy tries to call 911 and it does not work out for him. One thing that they did show is something that we've never seen in any horror movie. Art the Clown, who is covered in blood, and he wears like a black and white split clown suit and whatever. He goes to a laundromat.
Yeah.
And he cleans his clothes.
I mean, he can't be walking around all bloody like that.
No, not when they're
He's
looking
got a
for
whole
him.
year until he gets to the next Halloween.
That's true. Yeah. So, gets his clothes cleaned up. There's this poor man sleeping, and he should have just stayed asleep. But he gets his clothes all cleaned. Meanwhile, we get a new character introduced.
Yes.
Who is only known as the Pale Girl. And she's
also in the subtitles listed as Demon Girl.
Demon Girl, yeah. She's like Art's little sidekick.
Yeah.
She doesn't talk at all unless she's manipulating someone's voice and using it as her own.
Right.
But she's like a little mini him, but like opposite. So like he has a little black hat, she has a little white hat.
Yeah.
And her hair's like sticking through it. And she's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, she's pretty creepy.
And the little tidbit fun fact that I had for you, Kathryn.
Oh yeah, what about it?
So, you know how her teeth looked weird?
Yeah.
What they did to do that is they took her top teeth, they took a cast of her top and bottom teeth, and they flipped it. Oh. So her top teeth were her bottom teeth.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, interesting. I know that because for my people that want their sources, if you went to the theater to see it, there's an exclusive interview with Damien Leone, and he talks about it. It's really short, but that's literally the only part I completely remember other than that and him.
And how to say his last name.
How to say his last name. They talked about the alley scene a little bit and like their COVID problems and stuff. Because they actually ended up having to stop shooting.
Oh, yeah.
And that alley scene, they had only shot part of it, and then they stopped. And then when they came back, they ended up making it like longer because he had more time to actually think about it.
What's the alley scene?
He's
walking. Oh, I thought you were talking about the one when he's walking through the alley after the corner.
No. Her name's Allie.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't remember. Didn't care.
Damn. But that's the scene of the movie for me, at least.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So I think that the fucking Spirit Halloween store dude got the short end of the stick, too.
He did, too.
Like, he did not deserve that.
No.
Not one bit.
Yeah, he didn't deserve that.
The Halloween store scene was funny. Top notch.
Oh,
I mean, before the kill.
Yeah. That was like the best part of the movie.
That was another iconic, like, comedic timing scene.
Yeah. So yes, we have the Pale Girl. She's his little sidekick. And then it like flashes to the scene where we meet Sienna and Jonathan, which are the protagonists, basically. Yeah. And then we don't even realize it yet, but it's a year later. And Sienna's she's DIYing her costume like the queen she is, and it's amazing, and we love it. She is drawing, and she's making this costume from a drawing that her dad used to make her or draw for her all the time. And her dad had passed away. Their dad passed away from a brain tumor, whatever. He had this little journal that had the drawings in it, and he was an amazing artist. This is when it starts to get weird, a little bit weird. Little side story. Jonathan, the little brother, he is like strangely obsessed with the Miles County killer, which is Art the Clown. And he wants to dress up as him for Halloween. And his mom, who's a fucking bitch to these kids for no reason, like we said earlier, like she just yells at them for no fucking reason.
Yeah. She doesn't give them any chance to explain anything.
No.
She's not ever on their side when they're getting in trouble and they swear they didn't do it. Like, she's the worst image of a mom. And I was just like, someone's got mommy issues in this filmmaking process.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, someone does not like their mom very much. If this is what they think moms are.
Yeah, like it was just like over the top. I was like, God damn, lady.
Calm down.
Wow. Like, what was it? She dropped like a box of cereal and she starts just fucking cussing at her about how her brother never fucking
closes the box.
And I'm like, bruh. And then they start talking about how Jonathan's possibly like a serial killer. Like he needs to like go get checked. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know.
The local killer that happened in the area a year ago. Like, it's not unusual to be kind of intrigued / he was kind of scared about it too.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit before things went down.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're all making their costumes and stuff, and they're getting ready for the big Halloween, you know. I'm kind of bummed that we never got to see Jonathan in his outfit.
I really thought we were going to see him and Art have like a moment, you know?
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I kind of thought that Art, although he did kind of fuck him up, he went light on the boy.
Oh yeah. He went light on both. Well, Sienna did get fucked up, but in the beginning.
But like the boy, he was like, wake up, wake up, wake up, when he could have just straight up torn him to pieces while he was sleeping there at the end.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that part. Oh yeah, that was funny when he would like try to get him awake and he's like, like annoyed that he's not waking up. Like, oh, it's great. Comedic timing is
yes.
But
how many times can we say the comedic timing was impeccable?
Let's see, editor. Oh God. Anyway, but yeah, they're doing their thing, and then for some reason, again, this is when it gets weird. Sienna falls asleep and she starts having this dream about her being at the Clown Cafe.
Yeah. This was a rather unsettling part.
Yeah. But yeah, so she's in like this like weird dream thing.
Yeah.
And it's the Clown Cafe, and it's like these adult dressed up as kids.
Yeah.
This lady who has weird face paint, and she's just singing the song. It's this fucking Clown Cafe song, and it was stuck in my head. And me and Kathryn were just singing it, and you're like, is she dreaming? Like, she seems to be kind of aware of like what's going on. And then all of a sudden, Art the Clown is the special guest, and everyone's like going crazy, and they're so excited. And he brings his little trash bag of goodies and starts giving people like lollipops, popcorn, candy apples. And then he gets to Sienna, and she's like scared, and she's shaking her head no. And he basically shoves this box in her face, and she opens it, and it's a heart. And then she just kind of hits the fan at that point.
Say hello to my little friend. That's about it.
Yeah, it was just really weird. And she ends up like trying to get away from him, and he's coming at her. And there's this sword that her dad gave her, and it's supposed to go with her outfit, but it's a real fucking sword.
Yeah.
And she pulls it out of this box of cereal, and it like blocks the flamethrower from getting her. But at that same time, her fucking room sets on fire.
Yeah.
And we're just like, it's like a Freddy thing, kind of. like a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of thing. And then after that, her and Jonathan start seeing art everywhere, and the pale girl.
Everyone sees art.
Yeah.
Remember, Allie saw him at the costume shop. It somehow it invited him into the real world again.
Yeah.
That dream sequence somehow.
Mm-hmm. Which is just crazy to me. Oh God. So here's another reason why the mom fucking sucks that we mentioned earlier. Jonathan's at school. These two of his friends, I think they're friends, but they're fucking asshole brat kids. They find this dead possum in the schoolyard, and they're like, "Oh look, oh," typical
poking it with a
boy.
stick.
Yeah, and then so they call this girl over. They're like, "Oh look, the cat gave birth to kittens," and she's all excited, and they scar her for life.
Yeah.
Side note. This is when a cameo happens, and it's the principal, or it's the person who plays the principal, and it is Felissa Rose. And I think it's funny because me and Kathryn literally just covered the movie that she is in.
Yeah.
With Mustachio Podcastio.
Yeah.
Sleepaway Camp. She plays Angela.
Yes.
So I thought it was funny. I looked at Kathryn and I was like, "Do you recognize her?" And she's like, "No."
No, I said she looks familiar, but I have no idea who she is. And then she goes, "She's from Sleepaway Camp." And then we couldn't remember the name. And then at the end of the movie, 20 minutes later, I just yell, "Angela!" And you were like, "Yes." I don't know how I pulled that one out of my ass at the end of the movie. 2 hours later.
I thought it was so later. I just thought that was so funny because we weren't even talking about the movie anymore. No. We were just bullshitting around. I was getting ready to leave, and you just "Angela," and I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Yes, Kathryn, it was Angela."
Well, you couldn't remember her name during Terrifier, so I was thinking about it
the whole time. You're using all your brain power.
I'm only new at making brain cells by myself. Calm down.
I know. It's okay. I'm proud of you anyways.
Anywho.
But yeah, so the possum. Yeah. Jonathan feels bad because Jonathan had nothing to do with it. And he's in class, the girl's in there, she gives him a dirty look, and then he's all sad and moping around and stuff. And then he's like, "I need to go to the bathroom." He goes, and then he sees the pale girl and Art, and they're playing with it, the dead possum.
Inside
the school, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. I did not enjoy that part.
No. And they basically throw it at Jonathan, and then he freaks out, throws it, and then he runs into this lady, and immediately he's accused of bringing it into the school. He gets brought home by police officers.
Yeah.
And his mom is he's sitting on the stairs all sad, and as soon as they leave, he starts to speak, and she's like, "Go to your room." And he's like, "But Mom,
I didn't do it."
Yeah, Sienna gets accused of the fire thing earlier with that she woke up and her room is on fire. Her mom also got pissed off at her because she's like, "You left one of your candles burning. I know you did." And she's like, "No, I didn't."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, how else did it get there, Sienna? What happened?" And she's like, "You're not even gonna hear my side or believe me?" And she's like, "No."
Yeah. Well, the other thing is definitely not. I'm not trying to help the mom, but Sienna didn't know what happened either. At the end of the day, she didn't understand how it caught on fire either. And I think if she told her mom about the Art the Clown fucking dream, I think that she would just be going down a crazy rabbit hole with that woman. She wouldn't have cared.
Oh yeah. The whole family's on drugs. They're on medications, except Jonathan.
Yeah.
And they were already trying to get him to go see a therapist for serial killer tendencies.
But they are grieving.
I mean, yes. So. I'm not on medication. It's fine. I should be.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
I'm fine.
Most people who are fine don't yell that I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Steam just starts coming out of your ears.
I'm fine.
Starts crying.
ASMR, I'm fine. Anyway.
But yeah, so yeah, the mom's fucking crazy.
She is. Since that happened with Jonathan, he is now grounded, not able to go trick-or-treating, not able to achieve his mini artness, you know. Also, meanwhile this is happening, little Jonathan also has this like whole conspiracy theory thing going on. Like, he believes that Art the Clown's still out there and that their dad had some odd connection to it because he was like obsessed with it. Like, he had all the newspaper, he had this journal of his drawings, but it also contained drawings of the clown, of certain like death scenes from like the victims from the first one. So it's like, how did he see that? So it's like, is he psychic? Like what's going on? So Jonathan's on the right track, but his mom thinks that he's crazy. And she fucking just rips this book to shreds, which I think is fucked up anyway, because that's like the one thing they have their dad.
Right.
And then that's when Jonathan fucking loses it and calls her the B word.
You're a fucking bitch.
And
it says bitch.
Yeah. He's like, you're a bitch. and then he runs away.
He like pushes his glasses up and stomps off. You're a bitch.
And he runs away. Sienna, we'll get back to Sienna. She is at the school, her school. She's freaking out because of that fire thing that happened. And this is when we meet her two best friends, Allie and Brooke.
Tweedledee and Tweedledummer.
Tweedledee. I thought Allie was like the sweetest person, right? She's like the little Miss Innocent, like popular girl, right? Sienna's kind of like the alt girl, like keeps to herself. And then Brooke is the fucking like hoe.
Whore.
Love her though. She was like, I don't know what it was. She was just so pretty to me. Like, it was her nose. She had a pretty nose. And that's weird to say. But she had a really, like, she just had an attractive face. Same with Sienna. I was like, oh my God, girl. Damn. But yeah, so Sienna's having like a mental breakdown. Her friends are like, what the fuck's going on? They start talking about, Brooke talks about the Victoria Hayes interview, which, if you've seen the first one, it's the interview in the beginning of the first one.
Yeah.
Where the final, like the sole survivor of part one, like tore the interviewer's face apart or whatever. Right. So they start talking about. The interviewer
was being a bitch about her face.
Yeah, she's
being pieced together herself. So
Brooke's talking about it, and she's just kind of like whatever. And Brooke's like kind of making jokes about it, like, oh, she's crazy, blah blah. And Sienna starts like having like a panic attack, and then they're like, "What's going on?" And she tells them, like, she catches them up on everything, and except the dream thing. She didn't tell them anything about the clown, really.
No.
So Allie and Sienna, since Sienna's costume got kind of partially destroyed, she's going to this costume shop. She goes to this costume shop to get the rest of her outfit and, you know, save it. This is where she sees Art the Clown officially in
really life.
In really life. And he's just there, chilling. And she freaks out and she gets past him and she's freaking out. Like, she's not
supposed to buy her stuff and go.
Yeah. So she goes up to the counter and the guy's like, "You good? Like, here, we ready to check out? Like, you find everything okay?" And then like she's just shaking and she goes to buy her stuff and then she's like, "Oh, I forgot." She's like, "I think I forgot my bag," but like mid-sentence her bag just gets fucking slammed on the counter by Art the Clown. And she's like obviously scared. Like, it's like tense, nerve-wracking, whatever for her.
Yeah.
And then me and Kathryn are fucking busting out laughing because this man, Art the Clown, You know, in like little costume shops where they have like those glasses or whatever you can try on. This scene is 10 out of 10 perfect. Love it.
It's funny.
She's like freaking out trying to check out, and he's just trying on glasses and just being so dumb, and it's so funny. And so he's just being funny, being Art, and she finally like gets her stuff and leaves, and then Art kind of follows her, and then he
closes up shop for the guy.
Yeah, being a wholesome man, he closes up shop for the shop owner, and yeah,
he takes his final purchases to the counter for her.
Yeah, he goes to like pretend to buy something, and then basically just fucking destroys the shop owner.
Yeah, he's just trying to make a living.
No, poor guy.
Yeah.
Allie's home, and she's, answering to trick-or-treaters and whatnot. Art shows up.
And all he wants is a little treat.
Yeah, he's just trick-or-treating with his garbage bag. And she's fine at first. Like, she's like, love the costume, supporting our man.
Yeah.
But sorry, can't give you candy. Can't give adults candy. Which I'm just like, bitch, just fucking give him candy. It's not like you're gonna get rid of all the candy.
Yeah.
I still got almost 2 bowls of candy from Halloween because we had like 5 trick-or-treaters.
Right.
So I'm like, bitch,
just give him a handful of candy. Like, I just didn't. I think that she would still be alive and well today if she had just given him candy.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't do very well for the movie, but like, I'm just saying.
Right. And so she basically tells him no, and then closes the door, and he's banging on this fucking door. At this point, she's pissed, and she starts giving him a piece of her mind. Right. And she was like, "Here, fucking take it," and just throws like 2 pieces of candy at him, and it lands in his little bag. And then she got a glimpse of the bag, and she's like, "Oh shit, like this guy's psycho."
Yeah.
Anyway, hours go by. She's fine living life. She's getting ready to get ready for the party, and all of a sudden there's a crash, and it is her sliding glass door. They're no more.
Bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam. And Art has now infiltrated the house, and he's just casually walking around the house, grabbed himself a glass of water, what you do when you break in someone's house.
And she sees him, and she's just like standing there like, like she's not screaming, and she's not running away. She's just standing there while he's like getting a glass of water, doing art shit. And I'm just like, run. Mm-hmm. Run. Why are you not running? Like,
right.
And that happens multiple times in this movie where I'm just like, why are you standing there just staring at that guy? Run.
I know. He doesn't see you yet.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Just fucking go.
Just go.
So a chase ensues, and where does she go? Runs up the damn stairs like a dumbass.
The dumbass. And
what ensues is a 3-minute long torture scene that I will not describe because it's a lot.
But it's the scene of the movie, so
it is the scene of the movie. All I'm gonna tell you is that it's awful, it's brutal, and I don't think she deserved all that.
No,
because she literally got it like the fucking worst. She got the slowest. Like, okay, I'll tell you this: she was still alive.
That was another thing about most of the kills in this. And I was like, I said this to Hayley. I was like, I don't think that people stay alive like that. Like in a real life situation.
So one thing, this movie, the reason why this movie again is so good is because a lot of their effects are practical.
Yeah.
It's not CGI, computerized, whatever. But there was 2 scenes where they use they use CGI. The one scene is with the shop owner guy.
Yeah.
When they CGI'd his eye and like the face.
Yeah. As
he's like getting, demolished. And I thought that was crazy because I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Usually I can tell, but it has to be really bad. And then the alley scene, like at the end. So they used an animatronic, obviously.
Yeah. Because
there's no fucking way that this person would be a real human alive. But they used an animatronic, and then they CGI'd her one eye and like her, I think just her eye, it was, when she like woke up and she was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those scenes those scenes look different though. I did notice that they look different than the other practical effects that he used. And the first Terrifier, which didn't have CGI in it, right?
No.
So when I saw those parts, like they were very short, so it wasn't like big or anything, but I was kind of like, I think that's CGI. I don't know. I'm not good at like effects and I'm not good at like talking about them because I have no idea about anything, but
Right.
anyway.
Yeah,
they did look different than the normal Damien effects is what I thought.
While we are on that scene, you want to know how he drew inspiration for that scene?
Oh, how?
So he was at, good old Barnes and Noble. And he came across a Jack the Ripper book.
Oh, okay.
And in the book was a picture of one of his victims. And he was saying that the victim was like sitting on the bed and she was like mutilated, like really bad. And basically what he did to Alec.
Holy shit.
So he said that he saw that and he said he reverse engineered it in his head and basically tried to imagine how would someone end up like this?
That's crazy.
And I was like, fuck, was it effective?
Yeah.
Because that shit was insane. She gets literally everything done to her.
Yeah, she does.
But yeah, that's the scene of this movie. So Sienna, so we're back to Sienna. Sienna and Allie have been playing like phone tag. So none of them have talked to each other in the last like 5 hours. So Sienna's all dressed up. She's in her outfit looking bomb as fuck.
Yeah.
And she goes downstairs. Her mom's like not approving of it, obviously, because it is revealing, but it's not that bad.
For a high schooler, it's pretty bad.
Well, yeah. She was like, Mom, people dress like this these days. That's what they dress up as for Halloween. And she was like, she's really proud of it because it's her dad's drawing that she drew for her.
Yeah.
Or character or whatever. And the mom is happy about it. And she was like, Sienna, your dad would be proud. And I was like, oh, this is the most wholesome moment. That's the most wholesome thing you've ever said to your daughter. Like, score 1 for the mom.
That was like a half a point.
Okay,
it was like a backhanded compliment. Like, your dad would be proud, but you look like a slut. Like, come on.
Yeah. So now we're at a party. And it's the bar party, whatever. And we see Brooke again, and she's looking bomb as fuck too. I loved her outfit, even though it was just like a pirate thing or whatever. And then we meet her boy toy. I don't know if they're together, but her boy toy.
They are that night.
And this man literally has a shirt and it just says just the tip.
With a little knifey knife.
A little knifey knife. And I was like, oh my God, which is foreshadowing for later.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah. Not deserve that either.
No.
That was bad.
Oh, I have another fun fact about that scene. That it could have been worse.
Okay.
Yeah, so having a party, having a good time, whatever. Woo woo. They're drinking. Brooke is kind of a bad friend because she fucking laced Sienna's drink with Molly.
Sienna was like, I fucking hate you. I'm so mad at you. And she's like, I'm so mad. She goes, you're smiling. And she goes, I'm so pissed at you. And they were just like laughing with each other though.
And she's like, I'm totally not smiling. She's like, you're totally smiling.
Yeah, it sounded like 2 drunk bitches on Molly.
They were 2 drunk bitches on Molly. So like good actresses, good actors, yes.
Good actors. Woohoo.
But yeah, so Sienna's mom ends up calling Sienna because this is the point where Jonathan is like, you're a bitch, and like runs out the house, and she discovers she's cleaning the car off and like it's in the garage, but she finds it completely everything. Like there's shaving cream all over it, and in the shaving cream is the word bitch.
Yeah. So
she thinks that Jonathan did it, and she was like, he's fucking dead, Sienna. Like, she's literally, like, threatening to kill her child. And Sienna's fucking fucked up on Molly. and her mom like have an argument for a second, but then like as her mom's yelling at her, she like kind of smiles and she's like, "Mom, I love you." And I'm like, wow. And she's like, and it was a wholesome moment. So then they get another half a point, whatever.
Sure. She
So,
returned and I love you. It's the bare fucking minimum for a mom to do.
Wow. Okay. Anyway.
There's no one could, not even Damien himself could redeem the mom in my eyes.
She's cleaning the car off and like she's talking shit and like it's like perfectly comedically timed. Like as soon as she said something, she like wiped off the thing, and then there's Art the Clown with the sawed off mini shotgun.
Yeah.
And just fucking destroys her, face. And it's great. Love it.
I mean, it's the like most tame kill that he's done in the entire movie. So
So Art and the Pale Girl, remember her? She's like, they're like in this like rapist van. But so Jonathan comes across the van and he sees the little pale girl and her eyes are fucking glowing, and I was like, bro, she's creepy as shit. And then he runs back home, and then he finds Mommy Dearest with her face blown up and at the dinner table, and Art in his cute little apron, and he's making dinner, and he brings dinner to the table. And what's for dinner? Mashed potatoes.
Taters. And a whittle injection just for Johnny Boy.
Yeah. Chase ensues. Stab in neck with injection. Which again is why I'm like, damn, he went easy on that kid too.
He did.
Like
I think he liked the kid. Like, I don't know.
He probably did.
I mean, like the kid was gonna dress up as him for Halloween. I don't know. Who's to say he didn't know that? I don't know. He was in the household before the kid got back. He could have seen the costume. I don't know. I'm just saying he went soft on the kid. That's all I know. He did like, toss him around and stuff later, but
right. But
he could have gotten deaded right then and there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And there's so many times that he could have gotten deaded towards all the way in the end of the movie. He never did.
Exactly.
That's why I think Art has a soft spot for Jonathan.
Yeah, so he basically kidnaps Jonathan.
Yes.
And Sienna has like a mental breakdown because she sees the little pale girl at the bar thing. And then so they leave. Brooke, the boy toy, and Sienna, they leave. And Brooke and Sienna are fighting about being spiked by Molly. And then Brooke's like, I'm a good friend. And
she's not.
I did this for you.
I laced your drink with Molly for you, bitch. I wanted you to have a good time.
Right.
That's not a friend, in case you're wondering.
And Sienna gets a call from Jonathan, but it's not Jonathan.
Yeah.
It's the demon, the pale girl, like mimicking his voice. And basically they lead them to the like final chapter of this movie where they face off at an abandoned, or I don't know if it's abandoned, but it's like a closed down amusement park. And it's great. Sienna goes looking for her brother when they get there. Brooke and Fuckboy are like sitting in the front, start making out, whatever, which is rule number 1, like don't have sex. And
they do like, a bump of coke.
Yeah, normal stuff.
Just normal teenagers.
And like right as they're about to,
yeah,
Brooke gets worried about her friend. And the guy is like, fuck this shit, I gotta pee. So the boy goes and tries to pee. He gets stabbed in the dick.
He ain't gonna pee no more. That's how it's gonna be.
No. His dick gets completely demolished and ripped off. And just a tip. Poor guy. But no, the little fun fact I wanted to talk about that scene. So David Howard Thornton, which for those of you who don't know, that's who plays Art the Clown. So him and Damien Leone, they basically go off each other. Like Leone said that they try to one up each other in like the gross factor. Like how fucked up can we get, So David Howard Thornton, he came up with the idea of, after he rips his dick off, turning it into a balloon animal.
I kind of thought something like that was going to happen. I mean, not exactly that. obviously, because I'm not that person. But I did kind of imagine that maybe this in his hand was going to go someplace else, which I don't know where it would, but I thought it was going to be something else, but it just ended up being a wiener. I was like, I don't know how they would have even done that, though.
I have no idea. But apparently, for Damien Leone, that was too far.
It
When
does
I
seem
read
like something
that-
Art the Clown would have done, though.
Right. I was like, when I read that, I was like, that's too far.
Yeah, you've like sawed a bitch in half and basically, demolished Allie, and you think that a wiener balloon is too far.
A wiener balloon. I know. I was like, damn, okay.
He's a clown. Damn.
Oh God. Yeah. So then he basically drags Brooke out, and there's a chase there. He ends up killing her, obviously.
I felt like her kill was really short.
It was short, but it was kind of gruesome. Yeah. So, and then for another so Brooke's dead, right? So now it's just Sienna and Jonathan.
Yeah.
So we still got fucking 30 more minutes of this movie.
And it's just a cat and mouse game the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's like cat and mouse. It was kind of annoying when I saw it in the theaters. I was like, bruh, come on.
Just one of you kill him.
Yeah. It was like, oh, Art's dead. No. And then it was like, oh, he's back. Oh, Jonathan's dead. No. Sienna's back. No, it was, yeah.
Sienna's dead. It was too much it was too much yanking my chain.
Yanking your chains. But long story short, Sienna dies.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. I mean,
she came back.
She dies. She's not moving no more. And then Jonathan's fucking knocked the fuck out. Yeah. And Art's smacking him around, trying to wake him up, and
right.
He's kind of annoyed because he won't wake up, which is hilarious. Jonathan finally wakes up, and he's wincing in pain, and Art's fucking eating him.
Yeah, he's biting his ankles.
And then he's yelling for Sienna, and that somehow she just comes out and just fucking decapitates the shit out of Art
with the sword from her dad.
Yeah. And he went out a smiling.
He did. There's no other way for Art to go out.
And so Sienna and Jonathan are embracing each other. They're like, oh my God. And then the pale girl comes out, and then they're ready to fight again. And she's pissed. She's angry. And she grabs Art's head and puts the mouth up to her ear, and she's laughing, whatever. And I'm like, this bitch crazy. I mean, obviously.
Right.
But she walks away with his head, and then Sienna and Jonathan are just hugging and embracing each other. And then the credits roll, and that's it.
That's it. The end. Nothing else happened.
No, nothing at all. Yeah. There's a little scene right after.
Which I'm assuming is going to be part of the next
movie. I don't really want to say what happened. It is another gross part.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
And I think we should leave it for them if they want to watch the movie.
Yes.
But it's pretty gross and bloody.
Pretty gross, bloody.
And who's in it?
So it's another cameo, and it's Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know who that is.
You don't, I know. For those of you who don't know, he is or was a WWE wrestler. Chris Jericho,
Sure.
But basically, the end is bloody, awful. I mean,
and kind of sick.
It's gross. It's sick, and it basically lets you know that Art is alive.
Yeah.
And it's gross, but for y'all curious cats, watch it. It's great. I have a fun fact about that scene. Not that scene, not the bloody scene, but I read this article, and it said that Terrifier 2 was just as brutal to watch as it was to film.
I bet.
And so I'm thinking it's they're talking about, obviously the stunts are going to be awful, the brutal hours or whatever. No, it was because fucking Chris Jericho was almost threw up on set because that jelly platter that his wife made. he ate like too many of them because they kept having to do takes of it.
Why wasn't he
And-
spitting?
I don't know. I was like, did he even eat it in the scene? I don't even remember him eating it. I just remember him asking for it.
He asked for it, she made him a plate, and he was eating it like a little bit. But like, if he was really having to redo the scene that many times, he should have been spitting.
Just spit it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. And then the reason why Chris Jericho literally, he said that he's a huge horror fan, I guess is what he says. He said that he was a huge horror fan and that he was scrolling through Netflix one day and came across Terrifier. Fucking loved it. He said best horror movie that he's seen in like 25 years.
Holy shit.
And he basically bugged Leone to be in the second one. And he got the little cameo at the end. Which I thought was great. And I was like, damn, I need to do that.
We should bug him enough for him to write in 2 podcasters that Art the Clown listens to in his little van.
Oh my god, that'd be great. Like he's just listening to our podcast about himself and he's like just silently laughing about like the death.
I think we could bug him enough. Dear Damien Leone, here is attempt number 1 to get into the next Terrifier 3.
I love the Terrifier franchise so much. I'm so excited. So for like the special effects and stuff or the blood and gore and stuff, he's not certain how much they use, but he said at least 20 gallons of blood was used.
Holy moly. I would have imagined more.
Right? That's what I thought. But
20 gallons. I mean, I guess if you put 20 gallons all together, it's a lot, but I'm thinking of like a gallon of milk times 20.
Yeah.
And to me, it seems like not enough blood compared to how much was in literally the last scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like just that scene alone, I feel like is more than 2 gallons at least.
Yeah. But they used real meat.
Oh.
Like he said, like bacon, chicken cutlets. He said that they would sometimes get like sausage case, like from like this local deli or whatever. They'd give him scraps. And he said, and I quote, "Nothing gets slimier and like more real looking than real fat." And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then he said that it also sucked though because it couldn't be under like hot light and you had to work fast with it.
Yeah.
Because then it would like, smell really like something died.
Yeah. And that must have been a bitch to clean up.
Oh yeah.
Real meat splattering all over the place.
Yeah, that's gross. Oh, I did have like a little bit of fun facts about so Lauren Lavera, who plays Sienna, I don't know why, but so I was just clicking on her just to like see like more about her and stuff, like more of the stuff that she's been in. And like her age was not like there.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really care at first, but like there's one article that I saw, and it said that she was born in 1978 and that she was 44 years old. And I was like, there's no fucking way. And it is false. It is very false. I was like, she's not 44 years old. No. There's no fucking way. But
how old she is?
It's speculated that she was born in 94, so she's like 28.
Okay. I'd believe that.
So I was like, okay, I believe that one over 44.
Well, like, because like in the first part of the movie, I was looking at her and I was like, she doesn't look like a teenager. Like, she doesn't look like she should be a high school teenager. Like, I think she's a senior, so I know she's like an older teenager, but she definitely, to me, doesn't look like a teenager. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't have paid her to be, for sure, not 44 and maybe not as old as 28, but I believe 28 over 44 if that's the if that's the deal. And
then Jonathan, he was played by Elliot Fulham, and he is such a baby. He just turned 18.
Okay. I also thought he looked way older than 12.
Yeah. No, but I thought it was funny because I was looking at like her IMDb and his IMDb or whatever. She has a decent amount of things. I guess she was in a Marvel show, Iron Fist. But it wasn't like a lot. Like it was like she had like 2 episodes here, 1 episode here on one thing. So it seems like this is like her first like
big pick.
Yeah, like lead role.
Yeah.
And then Elliot, the guy that plays Jonathan, his filmography to me made me chuckle because if you look him up, it literally has the picture of this like show that he's a part of, but it's an animated kid show called Get Rollin' with Otis. And it's about a track, like it's like Thomas the Train, but like farm.
Oh, okay.
So it's a track. Otis is a tractor.
I see.
That talks. And so he voices a character on there. It's literally that show, and then Terrifier 2. And my last little bit of information that I found, Damien Leone was saying that everything in the movie means something. Like, he said that everything that he put in there, it wasn't like, there's not something in there just, everything's intentional.
Yeah.
And he said that there's a Blu-ray of this movie that he did a commentary for. And he said he slightly regrets recording it because he says he gave away too much. Yeah. About, like, he talked too much about, like, scenes and stuff and what they mean and what's going to happen. And so he was like, if you guys want to go check it out. And I was like, shit, I might get the Blu-ray because I want to know.
But do you want it to ruin yourself for the next one?
That's true.
Let's hear me out. But I was watching this movie thinking the same thing, though. Thinking that he was doing everything in this movie intentionally,
right?
Or it to lead back, which is why, remember I asked you, I said, by the end of this movie, do we see the connection with the dad? Because there's got to be something there that we are going to find out more in the next movies. There had to be. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know, whatever. But, and you said no. And I was like, okay, well, I must have to be watching for clues now. So I know what's happening in the next movies.
Right.
I could tell that a lot of it was intentional, how he was filming it and what he was showing.
Mm-hmm. And that is Terrifier 2.
Dang.
If you like the first one, if you like gory shit, go see it. If you want something new, go see it.
Definitely go see it, because like we talked about with Michael Colby, is that if people don't go and support new things that are pushing the boundaries, and they're not going to be made.
Right.
So obviously he's made a lot of money, and that's not a problem in this specific case, but be open to new movies.
But it's because people went to see it.
Exactly.
So go see it. Go see new movies.
Go see new movies. Try something new that's not Marvel. Not that we don't like Marvel. Michael doesn't like Marvel.
That's what he kept saying, Marvel.
But something that's not mainstream. Watch an indie film sometime. Support an indie artist.
What would you rate it, Kathryn?
Oh yeah, I don't remember what I rated the first one.
I don't either.
Say I'd rated a 9.
Ooh.
I'd say an 8 or a 9. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And every movie I watched that has Art the Clown in it, I have a softer spot for him. So, I mean, Damien's done a great job at humanizing Art, even though he's not a human, obviously. And he's done a good, I understand that he does take things to the limit and pushes things further and further and whatever. But I think that I don't know. I enjoy Art, and I think that he's really funny. And if he wasn't just slashing and dashing everyone, I would enjoy him more. I don't think he's ever, justified in his killings, but I do like Art, and it's kind of hard not to. And so I think that's why I'm in the 8 or 9 category. What do you rate it?
I would say 9.
Yeah.
I would almost give this a 10, but
I thought you would give it a 10.
I did love this movie a lot. It's definitely different. It lived way past my expectations. I just didn't like the long end.
Yeah, the ending was kind of drawn out again, he says there's a reason for everything.
Right. So
we know that there's a reason it was drawn out, that those scenes are important. Yeah. But I thought that he could have cut scenes that were maybe too long and drawn out of bloody guts that could have accommodated the last part.
That's another thing. He did say that he had to cut out a lot. Like,
I'm sure
he basically, when he was like creating this, he didn't think about like runtime or anything. He was just wanting to tell the story.
Yeah.
And then I guess the third one is already like super long. So he was like, maybe I'll just split it up into parts.
Yeah.
Which is why there's talk of 4 and 5.
Oh, that makes sense.
But because he's basically had this idea since like 2008. Like I think that's when he created the character of Art in 2008, and then he's always had like, or Sienna's character, like gladiator, goddess, whatever, being like his nemesis.
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. I will continue to support this franchise for sure.
Yeah. Well, that was great. Thank you so much for bringing us the movie.
You're welcome. I hope that we can continue this as like a anniversary thing.
If it comes out every year.
Right.
Spooky babes. Support indie artists and do your best today and the rest of the week and drink your water, and we will see you
in your nightmares.